Morning. Sorry if it's really loud. I'm at the gym, but I really wanted to hop onto this call.
I love it.
Um, yeah, so also got an offer on a listing, which is awesome. Always grateful for that. I have been planning for months and months with a good friend and realtor partner of mine, Elizabeth, who you know, Gabby, and we launched our Spanish speaking Instagram, and we are on our way to launching our Spanish YouTube channel. So that's been months in the work, and we are so excited. And I felt just so grateful, and I felt like such a big win.
And I love that because here's the power of our company, y'all. I mean, Daphne and Gabby would have never known each other. They just happened to be sitting in a room together, and it's like, wait, a light bulb went off, and they said, nobody's done this. Let's do this. So that is so cool. We are excited for you to both do that and um, watching you both take it by storm because nobody else is doing it. I've also seen Gabby get more visible on video. I was like, oh yeah, I know who her mentor is. I love it.
Right.
Um, cool. Well, and congrats for being at the gym because I am not at the gym. Anyway, good morning. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to see you guys this morning. I don't know if you know my friend Gogo, but we are in for a treat with a very special guest. Another reason that I love this company is because I have friends like Gogo, and over the years we've just gotten to know each other. And she is a dynamite person, entrepreneur, all the things. I'm going to let her tell. I don't know what she's going to share, so I'm going to let her tell her story because it's pretty powerful. But she has so much to unpack that I'm not going to. I mean, I'm just giving you the floor now, Gogo. I'm so excited you're here because I can ask you some questions in a minute, but I also know that you have a lot to share. So do you want to just go ahead and start kind of with your backstory, real estate, all the things, and then we'll jump in from there?
Yeah, sounds great. I'm an open book guy. So when I decided to put my life on social media, there was really nothing out there that you can ask me. And that's already probably out there. So might as well, right? So feel free to ask me anything. I did not bring a presentation today. My understanding that this is agent attraction dish, or is it kind of everything or?
It's everything. It's production, agent, attraction. And here's the thing too, guys, with GoGo, she's huge on, I mean, she's been a producer, but she's huge on attraction, and she's a great combination of helping her agents get into production. And so yeah, it's a mix of both GoGo.
And hey, Brian, I just see you. Be safe driving and paying attention. So a little bit about me. My real name is Bethke. Yeah, about that. So my parents didn't know I'm going to live in the US speaking English and selling real estate. So they gave me a good old Hungarian name that none of you can spell or pronounce. So because of that, when I got into real estate, prior to real estate, I did all kinds of random jobs. Let me actually back it up a few more years prior to that. So just FYI, I didn't speak English until I was 21 years old. I'm 43 now. So I only spoke English for the last 22 years. I came to the US all by myself. I didn't know a single human being. So when I immigrated to the US, I was like, I'm going to America because I wanted to build my American dream. And everybody back from home was like, are you crazy? Like, you don't know anyone. What if it doesn't work out? By the way, I had $200 to my name and I didn't know a single human in this country. And I was like, well, I know where Romania is. So if it doesn't work out, I'll just get on a plane and I start flying that way. Hopefully I can afford a plane ride home, right? So that was the idea. I really had no significant plans. I didn't know what I'm going to be when I grow up. I came as an au pair or a live-in nanny. And I met my husband right away in a bar. So 2 months, I came on January 20th. And Chris Reed, where are you? You have to be in Europe.
Hey, Gogo. I'm in Valencia in Spain. I was a
How
little
did
bit
I
late
know?
picking up a little baby, so I'm
Oh
just
my
just
gosh.
running back home.
Oh, I'm like, I know I'm like, you have to be in Europe because I know those buildings, right? Those are not America. Um,
Sorry for
good,
the disturbance.
good to see you here. So, when I came to the US, I kind of did all kinds of random jobs, right? Like I have a food safety auditor certification. I worked in a restaurant as a server. I was a babysitter. I worked in the plastics department. I worked in the warehouse, shipping and receiving. Like you name it, I've done it. I like to joke and say it's like I know what I don't want to be when I grow up because I've pretty much done all the jobs, right? Real estate wasn't my idea. It was my neighbor's idea. I was always on Facebook because that was my only way of communicating with everyone from back at home. So I'm not homesick. I got to see everyone and see them going on vacation and having kids and getting married and, all of the things. I felt like I was still part of my friends' lives. Think about it, like 21 years back at home, that's a whole life, right? Like I had a whole life before I came to the US. So I still have all my childhood friends and I didn't want to miss them. So I spent a lot of time on Facebook, and I also didn't want them to miss out on my life. So I spent a lot of time on Facebook, on my personal Facebook, just kind of posting things of what's happening, what I cooked, where did we go on vacation, having kids, raising kids, all of that stuff. And then one day I was in the end of our driveway, and my neighbor, who at the time was, and I think she still is today, director of a title company called Capital Title, locally up in Michigan. She stopped at the end of the driveway as I was playing with the boys, and she's like, "You would be such a good realtor. You're always on Facebook. You're so social. You have a lot of friends." And I was like, "Oh, what a great idea." Right? Sometimes they're not even our own ideas are the one that change our lives. So when I got my real estate license, I figured, how hard can it be? Passed my licensing right away. I prayed for math. I was like, just God, give me math. I know all of you are probably cringing right now. But for me, I don't have to translate math. Math is math. The number 2 looks the same in Hungarian as it looks in English, right? So don't give me vidor, vidoi, and truster and trustee, like all of those words. I'm like, I don't freaking know what you're talking about. I just want math. So I got a lot of math because God is awesome. And he gave me a lot of math, and I passed right away. In my first year, I made $16,000. Woo, woo, go, go, go. I probably spent more on gas and fees. But I'm the sorest loser you'll ever meet. I was kind of a slow starter. I didn't start making like real money until probably my 5th year of real estate. Pretty much every year I doubled my income. So first year, 16,000, second year, 32, then 75, then 156, then 200 and something, then so on and forth. Since 2018 or 19, 2019, I think so since 2019, I have not made less than 7 digits a year. Now I make multiple 7 digits a year. My goal is to help you, if I can help you in any way, is to help you to do work the way you want to do it. Because one of my favorite quotes is that you don't work a day in your life when you love what you do. So I knew what I don't want to do. So when I got into real estate, I interviewed all the top producers and in the office. So I was with Real Estate One for 7.5 years. At the time, they were the largest family-owned real estate private brokerage in the state of Michigan. I stayed with them for 7.5 years. I was the $1 million baby. I could get away with murder. They were amazing to me. I had no reason to leave. The only reason why I decided to leave from Real Estate One to Keller Williams originally, because they had what's called profit share. And by that time, I had about 30-some thousand followers on Instagram, most of which were agents, right? So like, I need to be able to get paid for the conversations I'm having, because or I turned a lot of people into agents, because pretty much I don't have friends without a real estate license. It's what it comes down to. Even my bestest friends, they all got a real estate license. Or I was turning agents into real estate or people into real estate agents, or I was talking to real estate agents who didn't like where they were at, and I was talking about what other brokerage they should join. And I wasn't getting paid for that. So and for me, time is money. If you're spending time on anything, you need to get paid for it, even if you love it, right? Because I'd rather you love what you do and make a shit ton of money, excuse my French. Especially, like, I have kids, they need to go to college. They eat, like, I have a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old boy. They'll eat the fridge and the pantry at the same time, right? So even though I love what I get to do, I have to get paid for it. So I wanted to get paid for the time. And so I joined Keller Williams for profit share. And let me tell you how profit share works, okay? If there is no profit, there's no share. Very simple math. It's not girl math. It's very simple math. And many of the offices are not profitable. So even though I recruited very high producing agents, solid agents into their offices, just because their office wasn't profitable, I wasn't getting paid. I was like, I don't like this girl math. I'm really good at math. So I came over, and then I also, this is the other thing that I realized. Ask me if Gary Keller takes profit share or revenue share. Who knows the answer to it?
Me, good me.
Chris, right, he takes revenue share. So I was like, okay, let me get this straight. You built the model, but you take revenue share while the rest of us take profit share. So I want to be Gary Keller when I grow up, because he's the only billionaire in that company. Actually, I don't even know if he's a billionaire.
Come see her.
So I decided that I'm going to go to a company where there is revenue share, where you can actually get paid for the profitability that you bring to the company, right? So if I'm bringing producing agents, I want to get paid on that production, right? So that's the reason why I joined DXP. That was back in 2018 in October. I went, and I don't know your guys's what kind of language I'm allowed to use here, but I like to say I went balls to the walls in agent attraction, and I was the first woman who brought over 100 agents to the company. And as of today, I personally sponsored over 270 that turned into 1,500 agents, and we did $2.1 billion in sales with last year we closed the year with like about 1,200 agents, 11 something, and we did $2.1 billion in sales with 1,100 agents. Like, we pull some numbers in this industry, right? So I love it here. In the meantime, I have built 9 different companies. I have a lot of coaching programs. I love to teach what I know. I have a membership that you guys can join if you want to. My coaching program, I have 1 spot left if you guys want, if anybody interested. And other than that, I really just spend my time today building an organization. I love building, and I love helping, and I love teaching, and I love making a difference. And I hope that one day in the big book of I've been here on earth, I'll be a little dot. One day people can tell there was a Gogo check. And so I want to make God proud, and I work like a mad woman. I go for it for any dream that I can think of. I did shut down my team up in Michigan, so I no longer have. So my process was, I was very much in production when I joined DXP, right? I was doing about 40, 50 deals a year with a right-hand girl and myself. So she was not licensed at the time. So I did all the transaction, and she just helped me with the back end stuff. I knew I wanted to build a course because I wanted passive income. So I built Gogo's Bootcamp when I came over to EXP, and I knew I wanted to build a downline. So I built both at the same time. And then I also knew that eventually I don't want to be in production anymore. So then I slowly removed myself from production. It took me about 2.5 years to remove myself 100% from production. Then I built a team who took that production over. During COVID, we decided to move down to Florida. I thought the team can function without me. Like, I can teach them online and hold them accountable. Doesn't really work like that with a local team. So I ended up shutting my local team down May, I think, of this year. And I spend my time in the 9 different companies. I'm CMO for one and CEO in many others, and I get to build. So ask me anything. I think that's it.
Love it. I hear her story all the time, and I just love it. It makes me so proud for you. All right, we can do this a couple different ways, y'all. I know normally we'll have like production conversations or presentations or things like that, but like Gogo said at the very beginning, she's an open book, and I know you are all on here and have 20 million different questions. And so, Gogo, what do you think about us doing question answer kind of things? And if
Love
we
it.
need to, I can step in and ask you some things as well. Does that work?
Absolutely.
Work for y'all?
Yeah.
Okay, I need y'all not to be shy because you have your shot to talk to Gogo one-on-one this morning. So unmute or raise your hand, and what do you want to know?
Let's see.
There's
Let me
Brian.
put it.
Gogo, what is the first step for those of us that want to have a bigger social presence? What would be tangible steps from somebody to go from 0 to something?
Just do it. It's really that simple. Like what I have today, if you're comparing whatever you have today to mine, I've been doing it on the clock. I post about in my feed once or twice a day, and in my stories, I would say an average 20 times a day. So in a day, I post 22 times in average, and I did that for the last 14 years every single day. So if you do the math, anything you do is just it's consistency, right? So if we take 22 times 365 times 14 years, I posted 112,420 times on one platform, right? And then now I have VAs, but everything that I post on Instagram, my assistants plaster it everywhere else. So I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook and Facebook groups and private page and personal page, and you name it, I'm everywhere, right? So if you multiply this by, like, let's say 8 other platforms, right? We are talking almost 1 million posts in 14 years, 899,000, right? So whatever you do, Brian, like sometimes people ask me, how often should I post? How often do you want to see results? If you post 1 time, you're going to see results 1 time. If you post 14 times, you're going to see results 14 times. So it's up to you. You just have to do it. It's just like cold calling. Who's on here a cold caller? Religious cold caller. Okay, there's Jonathan. Jonathan, how often do you cold call?
So I'm a little skewed just because I just started prospecting, like I'd say like four weeks ago, but I hit it every single day now because it's like that skill that you want to sharpen. Like, and I got my first listing appointment yesterday, waiting for them to sign it. But yeah, I'm kind of antsy today. But that was the second listing appointment. The first one failed, but it was just all like learning through the process. So,
And you're going to get better over time, right? So right now, you said you started 4 weeks ago. It took you 4 weeks, right, to get one listing. I
yeah.
guarantee you, if you keep this up for 14 years, it is not going to take you 4 weeks to get a listing. You're probably going to get a listing a day because you're going to get really good at what to say, how to say it, who to call, zone in on your target audience, where to find them, how old they're, like all of that, right? So whatever we do, you just have to get really good at it. And nobody got really good at it. Have you ever seen those memes of like how many shots Michael Jordan took to be Michael Jordan? Right? Like nobody got good. Nobody was born to be Michael Jordan, right? He created that persona. Same with who's the golfer guy?
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods, right? Like, yes, he was born Tiger Woods, but he wasn't born to be Tiger Woods, the golfer, right? That persona is created. Same with me. Gogo Bethke is not even my real name. I literally had to create a company just so I can prove that I'm me. Because on every platform, you have to prove that you're yourself, right? To be verified. And they're like, show us your ID. I'm like, well, I'm more like Prince and Madonna. Like, it's really not a name. It's like a persona that I created, right? So depending how often you want to do it, Brian, if this is something that you want to be your career, then you're going to do it all the time. So Jonathan, how often do you dial?
As soon as we're done with this call in the next meeting, I'm going to be calling in the afternoon. So
How
I'd
many
say
calls do
every
you
day.
make in a day? In average.
Calls, I'll make as many sometimes as like 400, honestly.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
conversations that turns into like 30, because you're using the auto dialer.
Right? So it's just math, guys. And you're going to see it over time. You're going to have better and better results. So for example, and write this down because this is probably one of the best things that I can give you today. I just thought of it, so I wrote it down in my notebook. Write down the word prompts. Like, when you do prompts inside of ChatGPT, I have a free prompt, marketing prompt for you guys on my Instagram. I literally just posted it this morning, but it popped up in my head when I came on the call to let you know. So if you go to my Instagram and on my last post, or any of my posts, you comment or DM the word prompt, but just by itself, I'll give you a free marketing plan that you can plug into your ChatGPT, and it's customized to your brand and your product or service. So literally you can say to ChatGPT, hey, ChatGPT, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. This is my target audience. What language do I need to do? What language do I need to use for them to take action? I like to work on the listing side, which means I want to list their home, blah, 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 right? You explain it and I give you the prompt. All you need to do is replace my brand. When I say I'm Gogo Bethke, I sell real estate, or I'm a real estate coach or whatever, you're going to replace it with your brand, whatever you do. And it's literally going to spew out the most amazing marketing plan. It's going to blow your mind. You're welcome. It's free. Okay. If you like to do online marketing. So Brian, that kind of goes along with your.
And do you recommend we focus on one platform in the beginning, or post the same content across all of them?
So both. But you're going to have one home. Like I couldn't tell you what my LinkedIn login is, but I have a massive LinkedIn following. I don't log in, I don't check it, my VAs do. So I create what I like to call my home platform is Instagram for me. It just comes easy to me. I know it inside out. I can make a post in 2 seconds with my eyes closed, right? So I use Instagram. That's where I create my content. And then my assistants take it from there and they plaster it everywhere else. So to answer your questions, you have to be on all platforms, but you do not have to be the one posting it. You just create that one content, and then you're going to have an assistant. In my case, I have 14 virtual assistants. They are plastering it everywhere. So it's like a bunch of mini me's. It's like, done. You can link your Instagram and Facebook together, but you can't link TikTok. You can't link YouTube. You can't link LinkedIn, right? So some of the work has to be done manually, but I create one content and then they plaster it everywhere.
One of the things you said a long time ago, Gogo, is that I think is great is it's so many excuses that we tell ourselves or tell each other as far as, well, the market's down, or I don't really have a sphere, or I just moved somewhere, or you know what I mean? Like all these negative things we tell ourselves. One of the things that you said, and I'm just smiling because I think about all you've created in such, I don't want to say a short time, but a short time. You haven't been doing this all your life. And one of the things that you always make me laugh when you're like, I came to another country, like I didn't have a sphere. I didn't even know anybody in this country. And so I just want, as you guys are listening to her, I want you to remind yourself that the excuses are just excuses. And you, like she just said with the social media, do it. You just have to get in action. Stop getting ready to get ready. But that's one of the things you've always said. You're like, I didn't know anybody in this country. If I can do it, anybody can do this.
Yeah, I mean, I had to do it because everyone's like, well, put a list together with your sphere of influence and your college friends and your cousins. I'm like, I got none of that. I don't have a single human in this country. Like, seriously, to this day, and I lived here now 23 years, besides my 2 children, there's no one related to me by blood on this continent. I didn't speak English until I was 21 years old. I didn't go to college. I have 0 US education. You can't spell or pronounce my name. Like, I could continue on with everything that was going against us when I started in this industry. You can do whatever you want to do, whatever you believe that you can. So let's talk about that, because yesterday we actually had a mindset, well, Wednesday, we had a mindset training inside of Team Gogo, and I can't emphasize enough. You are where you are because of the thoughts that you have. If you don't change those thoughts, you will not change your life. You are the designer of your own life. If you don't believe you can't have it, God is certainly not going to give it to you. And even if somehow magically, let's say that money shows up, but you don't believe that you deserve it, you're going to get rid of it faster than it hits your bank account. So you might be in that situation where you made all of that money and you're like, where the, excuse my French, did it go? Well, that's because you don't deserve, you feel like you don't deserve it, and you will get rid of it. So mindset it's the number one most important thing that you need to work on. It's not the systems, it's not the processes. You build a plane on the way down every time. If your kid was like, let's say there was a huge flood and your kid was across the river, would you figure out a way to go get him? Absolutely, every single one of us, right? Like, there's no freaking way I'm not going to figure out a way how to go get my child, right? You're going to do it if you believe that you can, or if it's important to you, you're going to do it every time. So it's the thoughts in your head that you need to work on. Because of that, I read a lot. Because of that, I go to a lot of masterminds, a lot of coachings. I got to the end of YouTube. I follow all of the mindset people. The 6 inches between your ears is the most important part. If you get that straight, you can have anything. Anything you believe that you can have, you can. You know the quote, if you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right.
Right. Powerful.
Marcello?
Hi there. Super new. Like, it's my first day at the office, basically. I come from
Welcome.
another company. Thank you. I come from another company, and yesterday I was able to transfer one of my listings because the owners believe in me, and they're happy to transfer to EXP. So I'm super excited. It's a luxury property, so it's a great way to start. But anyways, my question is, we were talking about ChatGPT, so AI and cold calling. And my question is, there are tools now that allow you to basically have a virtual AI assistant to make almost infinite amount of calls. And I wanna know if you think that this is a legit way to increase your leverage, or if it's just like it can work, but it's not good because of what you just said about mindset. So it's still important to do the reps. If someone or something else does that for you, it is a little bit of a shortcut, and in the end, it's gonna backfire.
Yeah, so I started to explain this and then I totally got hijacked. So I interviewed everyone in the office at Real Estate One of what they do, and I realized that many of them were cold calling and door knocking and sending out mailers, like eighth round of mailers for whatever. They're buying Zillow leads for $4,000 a month. This is 14 years ago, $4,000 a month, right? So I realized the list of things that I'm not willing to do. To me, my brand and my reputation is way more important than the next commission, right? I wouldn't do anything that I wouldn't like. So would I like a robot dialing me, asking me if I want to sell my house? No. So I would never do something that I wouldn't like to be on the receiving end of it. So personally, I would never do it. Even though I could probably be the first one who could build it super fast with my team, I would never do it. I still don't have bots on my page. I have real humans who answer every single DM that you guys send me. I answer every DM on Instagram. So if you message me on Instagram, you're talking to me directly. If you message me on any other platform, you're talking to one of my VAs. I do have one automation built in. So Marcella, you can check that if you want to. If you go to my Instagram and comment the word quiz, you can see AI in action. It's going to walk you through everything that I do. It's just kind of gives you a step-by-step of what I realized one day is that I'm answering the same things over and over again. There are sellers that want to work with me. There are buyers that want to work with me. There are agents who want to join my team. There are people who want to invite me to a podcast. There are blah, blah. Like, it's a long list of things. And instead of me of like, oh, comment this. Oh, comment that. Oh, you want to invite me to a podcast? Comment. Oh, you want to listen to my podcast? Comment and Gogopreneur. Like, oh, you want to, instead of doing all that, I was like, okay, we just need to build one automation that has everything. So when someone says, hey, Gogo, what are the ways I can work with you? I'll just say comment quiz. Right? So if you want to see it in action, that's the extent of an AI automation for me. I'm not using AI to answer any questions or any communications with clients. I wouldn't do it. I would be so annoyed if I'm talking to a robot on the other end, if I was on the receiving end. So I rather have and Marcello, I hear an accent and I hear that you had to transfer your listing over, which in our case is like it's just a given. So that makes me think that you're not in the US.
I'm in Spain.
Spain. Okay. So how much money would you like to make this year that you would be like happier than a clown?
2024, honestly, if I could sell that listing,
First of all,
I would be super happy.
I'm gonna stop you with the if. You're never gonna use if ever again.
Okay.
If
When?
When. Good job. Okay. Just so you guys do know, again, mindset, right? If it's a 50-50 chance, when is just a matter of time. So you're never going to use if ever again. It's always when. So when you sell this one, you'll be happy.
I'll be happy as long as it happens this year.
Okay.
In 2025, I'd like to have a lot more. Like my goal is probably right now 4 luxury listings a year, and so that I can focus on building my team and my building a.
Okay. So for
down
luxury
line.
listings, you do not need to get a VA for that or to get an automation for that. What you need to do is hang out where the rich people are.
Okay.
Are they country clubs? Do they have a tennis club? Is there a golf community? Is there a yacht community? Where do the rich people hang out that own those homes that you want to sell?
Gotcha.
No, I'm asking you.
Oh, where? I have no idea. I need to do the research and work on that. But yeah.
Okay. So whatever you want, everything is reverse engineering. So first of all, you need to know what the heck you want, right? So you want 4 luxury listings. Is that $1 million a piece? Is that $25 million a piece? What is that for you?
In Spain, I would say anywhere between 1 and 2 million.
Okay, so 1.5, I'll meet you in the middle.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay, so that's $6 million or 6 million euros, right? In your case, that you want to, that's 1 a quarter, right? So you have 3 months to sell one $1.5 million listing. In the $1.5 million listing price, where do those people live? Who owns those homes? Who do you need to be friends with? Who do you need to know?
I need to figure it out.
You need to start thinking faster, Marcello. Where do you think these people are? Where are these people?
How are you gonna
if you don't know who your target audience, number one, you have to figure out who is your target audience. Who's your ideal client? Where do they hang out? What do they do for a living? Who do you target? Where are you going to find them? Because right now you're playing darts in the dark.
Yes.
So you have to figure out who they are, or you're going to be playing darts and you might not hit the bullseye ever.
Yeah.
Because you don't even know what your target is. I'm
really grateful for this because this is amazing. My brain's starting to activate and this is so great.
Everything you want is so super simple. It's just reverse engineering. The problem is most people don't even stop to figure out what they want.
Yeah.
So we got as far as knowing what you want and how much that is. Now you have to figure out who those people are, who owns that, and how you're going to find them. So if I were you, I would probably.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Should I think in terms of areas, like the most wealthy areas of my city, or?
Well, let me ask you this. In the ghetto of your city, are you going to find a $1.5 million listing?
No, probably 20K.
So should you hang out in the ghetto?
No.
No, you should hang out where the $1.5 million listings are, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so you can do it a million ways. You can target them to postcards. What I would do, I'm a people person. I would probably look up if they have a country club. I would look up if they have a golf community, if they have a tennis club, if they have a, somewhere where I can go on Fridays and sit at the bar and meet some people.
Okay.
And I would talk to the guy on the left and be like, do you have a house to sell? Oh, you do? That's awesome. I would talk to the lady on the left. Are you moving to the neighborhood? Yeah, we're just checking it out right now. I'm like, perfect. Meet this guy. I'll be your realtor in the middle. You have to go where these people are if you want to do it like physically, right? With them. I'm a people person, so I would want to do it. I like relationships because people refer. I don't ever have to go and cold call another person ever again because I formed a relationship. I will always be the realtor. That's why I never worried about where my leads are going to come from because I have relationships. People work with me because they want to work with Gogo. So I'm not worried that Pet Lad's going to ever take my clients because she can't. If they wanted to work with Pet Lads, they would have worked with Pet Lads. They want to work with me because we have a relationship. So if I were you, I would do that. You can also probably target them on Facebook, right? Like you can run ads to some of like areas. Sometimes I don't know what the rules in Europe. They kind of took our targeting away in the US, but you might be able to do it in Europe. I'm not sure. You could post cards, you could sponsor events. Like easiest way to probably do it, figure out where their kids go play soccer and sponsor the little league. Sponsor the Gatorades and the Cokes and the ice creams and the lollipops after a soccer game and meet all the parents because they have the money.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
First day at EXP, Marcela. Welcome. There you go.
Thank you. This is amazing. This is so amazing.
Sorry about that. I'm straight to the point. I don't have patience for lollipops.
Gogo, can I ask you a question too? Can I jump in there?
Yeah, go.
Hey, would you do the same? What's the formula for agent attraction?
Okay, who's your target audience? I can tell you who my target audience is. Who am I talking to? Todd? Hi, Todd.
Yep. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you.
Hey, nice to see you.
Are you in Orlando, by the way?
Tampa.
What's that?
Tampa, on the other side.
Okay, gotcha.
In Tampa. Are you in Florida?
No. I'm in Texas, but I spend a lot of time in Florida.
Oh, got it. Yes, I'm in Tampa. So here's how I'll tell you my target audience, and then we can narrow down yours, right? So any product or anything that I ever create, my question is who's going to be my target? Who's going to buy it? Right? And that's the language that you need to speak. And those are the people that you need to talk to. And then you have to figure out where are those people. So when I joined EXP, I was like, okay, first of all, learn the model because you can't sell a product without knowing what the heck you're selling. So I realized, who can tell me this? Where do we cap? What amount? What amount do you cap at?
$2.6 million in sales.
Go, Todd. Woo-woo. Winner, chicken dinner. 2.6, 2.7 million in production caps an agent. Do I care if they produce more? Do I make money if they produce more?
No.
So do I care if they're this whale in the ocean or this mega 19 times icon like Elizabeth? Would I love to have an Elizabeth in my downline? Absolutely. I would recruit her all day, every day. But while I'm narrowing it down of who I want, do I care their production above 2.7 million?
No.
Do I care under 2.7? Absolutely. Because no offense, but I don't want the dead weight. I don't want to spend time on the dead weight because an hour of my life or an hour of my time is an hour of my life. Right. So I know that at a minimum, I want them at 2 million. And I like for my ideal spot is between the 2 million. Gentavia, can I ask you to mute just because when you shuffle it echoes an hour?
I'll do it.
Thank you. So what I looked at is I want them between 2 million to 6 million. Any idea why I care about the 6 million, even though it's above 2.7? Take a wild guess, Todd.
Attrition. Does that keep people there?
Because if they can make it on their own to 6, I can take them to Icon. And if they Icon and they get $16,000 free stocks every single year, more than likely they're not going to go anywhere else. So my target audience is the agent who's already doing between 2 to 6 million on their own. Why? Because I don't want to babysit a bunch of grown-ass adults. I don't. I want to create a bunch of rock stars, the ones who are already hungry, they already know how to do deals, they want more, they already got a taste for money. We're just doing this thing together. And when we put our collective mind together, how much can we get done together? So that's my ideal client, Todd. So if we are talking about, so let's talk about now yours. And also keep in mind, when I joined EXP, I was not a team lead. I was not an icon because it didn't exist before. Yes, I did 42 transactions or the year then I switched over. But iconing was never my goal when I came over. So my lowest hanging fruit, you always want to go for your lowest hanging fruit first. My lowest hanging fruit were the agents who are just like me, right? And I was doing about 9 million at the time. So I felt comfortable between that 2 to 6 million, because I knew that it's easy for me to have that conversation. But I would have not felt comfortable originally having the conversation with an Elizabeth, right? So I wanted to go fast numbers quick. And where do I feel most comfortable in? And for me, that was between the 2 to 6 million. So Todd, who are your target audience agent?
Yeah, I like that 2.6 plus. I mean, I've been trying to go for people that are going to be icon agents.
Why?
That's kind of who I run around with. They're a tougher sale though. It takes a little longer to convince them to come over.
Yeah. Well,
I also, one of the other
you
things is I don't
Yeah.
have a coaching program, nor do I want to offer a coaching program. I've decided I don't want to be a coach.
Have you ever heard me mention my coaching program for agent attraction? Have you ever heard me say that my Gogo's bootcamp is free?
I haven't. No.
Have you ever seen it anywhere? I don't ever mention it. I made millions of dollars in my coaching programs. Why would I, even though I do give them for free, I want to sell it. So I don't mention. So these things on the wall right here, I have 3 of those. I would turn it, but my computer is going to fall off. So that's a 2 comma club award. That means we have sold over 7 digits on a specific funnel. All of my coaching program have sold in the millions, but I don't mention it because that's how I make money. So I don't want you to feel like you need to have a coaching program. That is not what an icon would want. So in my opinion, if your level of agent is an icon, you have the easiest time to recruit them, because 95% of other brokerages gives them a big fat nothing for their production. If your caliber of agent is already an icon, that could be the easiest conversation to have. I would start with, I guarantee you, you're bleeding money. The agent's gonna be like, what? I'm like, oh, I see that you did 75 transactions this year. Did you get your cap back? And they're gonna look at you like you're from another plan and you have 3 hats. And they're like, what do you mean? I said, oh, that's what I switched over to EXP because I'm also a top producer, and I literally, not only then I pay nothing because it comes out to be like $0 in the end of the year, but I end up at $16,000 positive in my account in the end of the year. And I also, somewhere in there, I would ask them the question, do you work for money? Because as soon as they say, oh yeah, but my broker's so nice, then I would respond, oh, I thought you said you work for money. Because I'll be nice to you for $40,000 a year all day. I'll call you every morning and tell you the most amazing things since sliced bread. Have you ever ran someone's numbers of how much they pay? Do you know how to compare brokerages?
I do.
So that's what I always start with, do you work for money? Because then you beat them with their own words. Because you, most of the time, what are the most common objections you get?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. I like my broker. It's very comfortable here. It's a heavy lift to move brokerages. Seems overwhelming.
Yeah. So this is why if you start with, do you work for money? That cancels out all of their objections. Right. And I would run their numbers. Like I ask for their permission, and early on in the conversation, I'm like, hey, do I have your permission to ask you some real questions? And if they say yes, then I'm going to be asking them some questions. How many transactions did you do last year? What's your cap and cut? And what's your average price range? From there, I can do the math in my head of what they paid to their broker last year. And then most of the brokerages, like for example, the Remaxes and the Keller Williams of the world, most of those agents forget about their royalty fee, because it's almost like a blessing that they get to pay it. So they will tell you their cap and cut, but they won't say the 3.5% that never really falls off. At Keller, it falls off. But at Remax,
To that point, to that point, Gogo and Todd, I met with an agent last week that I've known forever, and we did her numbers. She knew all of her numbers, everything. We did it side by side on a spreadsheet. And I'm a bigger producer than her, but I showed her my numbers based on what hers were and what hers would be in our model. And she paid in her model, if she would have paid that already XP, she actually paid 68,000 more for less transaction. And she said, yeah. And her big hang up was, I was like, $68,000 more in your pocket. That's a lot of money. She goes, yeah. She goes, I'm just really loyal. And I said, well, I was too, until I realized I was being more loyal to my broker than I was to my family. What would that do to your family? And she's like, wow, that hurt. And I think once they see those numbers and you switch it and you make it a little more personal like that. I mean, I was super loyal to a fault too. $68,000, you're not talking about a couple cups of coffee. That's serious money.
And that's exactly what happened, because I was like, but I'm so loyal. This is my conversation with my sponsor. And Kurt Shewell is my sponsor. And Kurt said, who's your loyalty to? Your broker or your family? That's when I made the switch. Because I put my loyalty to the wrong, you know how you say you put your ladder to the wrong tree? Yeah. From
Kelly
that
has a
moment
question
on,
too, Gogo.
my loyalty is to my family. Yeah, but Kelly raised her hand. Can I go with Kelly first? Go, Kelly. Chad, I
Hi,
want to
Gogo.
question.
So glad to be on this call with you because they've been trying to recruit me to another brokerage, and I almost went until I talked to Elizabeth. So I'm so glad I'm on this call because they always make it sound great. And loyalty, I've always been loyal to a fault. I think it's a female thing because when it comes down to it, a man's going to do what's best for him, and his family. And so if it means more money, they're not going to care. It's a business decision, and this is a business. So that $68,000, and what could that do if you put that into marketing? How could that grow your business? So it's so funny because I see this guy at the coffee shop every day, and dang, I don't want to pick up my coffee, so I'm going to see him, and I'm not going to the brokerage. But we started talking about everything, and actually, Todd, you've been talking to him. You might know who I'm talking about. He said somebody's trying to get him over to EXP, but he just doesn't care about the stock. So I'm like, when I really
I would
thought
ask him
about
why,
it,
because you don't like to make. How is your stock at your brokerage? Is what I would ask him. Clearly,
exactly
a retirement account or retirement money is not important to him. That's not what you're going to get him with, right? So stock is not important to him. Then ask him what is. Because I would jokingly probably say something of like, "Oh, I see you don't like to make money. I do."
Right. And I think here's the big thing too that we need to realize is that if you icon, you're basically paying zero to the brokerage, right? Because you're getting that money back in stock. And I don't know exactly how that works because I was on a team.
Yeah, but also you have to keep in mind when I joined the company, the stocks at the time were $5 a piece. Now they are. I haven't checked it recently. Who can tell me what is it recently? 14.
I think it's like around 10.
14. No, it's around 14 right now.
14.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So last time I checked was 14. So
14,
it's
7,
literally,
yeah.
so it's pretty much 3 times itself. So if you icon 5 years ago when I joined, that $16,000 would be Horningskatten annuals
48,000. 48,000.
Would be 48,000. That's $16,000 that you icon 5 years ago would be worth 48,000 today. So this guy is okay. Can I take a wild guess? And this is just me reading this guy as much as I know him. He's not a big producer and he does not make a shit ton of money.
I don't think he's as big of a producer as I thought he was.
Because if he was, he would care about the money. Okay? The top producers, I don't work for free and I like to make money when I work. So that just tells me that he does not make a lot of money and he doesn't value money because he hasn't made enough of it yet.
Right, because if you icon, you're basically you're not paying the brokerage anything. If they're giving you that money back in stock, it's basically your ownership in the brokerage, which you don't have that anywhere else. And where he was trying to take
there are some, I don't want you to say anywhere else because there are some other publicly traded brokerages like Real, for example, right?
Oh, right. That are copying the model, the EXP model.
Exactly. So there are other brokerages that are publicly traded and they can buy or earn shares in the company. There's also the Epics of the world, right? That they are not publicly traded and they're giving shares in the company that's worth absolutely nothing, and maybe they're never gonna go public, but people drinking the Kool-Aid, right? So you just have to be super careful of what you do. I can tell you that I'm really freaking good at math. And I do work for money, and I have ran the numbers on all the other brokerages, and none of it, and it's not girl math, and none of it is mathing better than it's mathing over here. So if you work for money, and no matter who's talking to you, there's no way that if we sat down in a face-to-face, I couldn't beat their number.
That's good.
And Kelly, that's where you can pull us all in too to help you. The other company she's talking to, y'all, is Compass. Really Austin Compass.
Sorry.
And
Did I
those,
just laugh out loud? I laughed out loud. You know
I
what
know.
Compass does to you? Let me tell you what Compass is going to do to you. They're going to give you money up front, honey. It's going to sound so great and so fabulous.
Yeah.
No, they're not doing that really right now, though.
On a three.
Well, they said anything that I lose switching over to the brokerage, they would give it back to me in my next deal.
Okay, so
But-
let me. Okay, so you're gonna lose what? What are you gonna lose switching over?
I mean, really, I don't have anything to lose right now except for.
Okay, so they're gonna give you nothing. So they're gonna give you nothing, and so you're gonna switch over for nothing. Okay, let me get this straight. You
They're
can't
gonna give me a better split. I don't know.
a better split of what? Are they gonna give you leads?
Well, I'll never make 100% ever.
Oh, so how is that better?
So it's not. We talked about it.
That's why she's not going anywhere.
That's why I'm here.
But that's like the only, I can talk about this until the cows come home. I can beat any other brokerage's model if you're a producer. If you're not a producer, they might win. If you're a producer, there's no place anywhere else that the math is mathing. Especially if you want to do agent attraction. With production, maybe a real, but if we bring in agent attraction and the value of the stock, I can beat real all day, every day. They don't have level 6 and 7. The stocks are, right?
But Gogo, to that point, though, they're owned by outside investors as well. And so the people that can change your business have no tie to your business.
You know what they own by? 3 hedge funds. I think 2 from Israel and 1 from Japan. Do you think they care about your cap and cut? No, what they care about is that they're going to get their money back one day, which, by the way, they never broke a profit.
Gogo, their stock is down 10% over the last month.
Yes.
And we are up, over 10. So there
well,
you go.
But you got to understand imitators versus what's real, right? People are going to imitate. We're innovating. And I mean, their founder owns 4% of his own company now. He had to sell out his own company to try and make it work, and it's not working. So to Gogo's point, a lot of things are smoke and mirrors. You just have to understand before you're making decisions. And if you're not knowledgeable in all the different models, you pull us in that are, because it doesn't make sense what they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you one thing, but it's not actual when you look at the numbers and put them side by side. I know we have a whole bunch of hands up too, by the way. Jenna's hands
but
up.
I just want to throw it in there. It's just, to me, it's just like dating, right? Let's say you meet this guy, Kelly, and you guys are thinking about dating, and the guy says, yeah, so I haven't made any money in the last, how long Real's been around? 10 years, 11 years, something like that? Never. They never broke a profit. Do you want to marry that guy? Do you want to take your license over to a brokerage that has never broken a profit? Be like, yeah, sure. I'm sure this is gonna we're gonna cross our fingers and hope that one day it's gonna work out, right? So I like to be on the battleship and not in the canoe, especially now with the NAR things going on, right? EXP is the #1 in production and volume, right? We are the fastest growing brokerage ever. We have cash. We have no debt. I don't know how much we have in cash, but I think it's over $100 million. So I don't quote me on that one. But we have no debt. We own most of the things that we use. That's the ship that's the guy I want to marry.
Totally makes sense.
You carrying the other company. So just do your research, Kelly. The reason why I'm here, because I believe this is the best company to be at. And as soon as somebody can beat these numbers, I will leave. I'm kidding. No, I won't. I'm here to stay.
I know where you live. I'll come get you.
Exactly. I'm here to stay. Okay. Jenna.
Hi, Gogo. I'm gonna take it in a little bit different direction. So I heard you say you're all about relationship. I'm all about relationship too. One of my biggest struggles is growing further because it's hard for me to pull away from like the production and stuff because I am all about that relationship. I take it to heart that people continue to call me again and again and again. And so that letting go piece, like, what does that look like? Like, whether it's not just, and I have a small team, so, and one of them's on here, but being able to refer it out, I get that, but I also like, it's hard for me to let go. Like, what did you do?
Okay, so can I ask you a brutally honest question?
Yeah.
Is that why is it hard for you to let go?
Because I want to make sure that they have a great experience, and I probably control issues. I want to make
So
sure.
you believe that you can do it better than anybody else could ever do it?
Not than anybody else, but on my team. Yeah, probably.
That just means you haven't trained your team right yet.
Truth.
So most of the time is your ego. It's your ego answering that question. Your team's gonna be, I'm not saying they're gonna do as good of a job, Jenna. Nobody's ever gonna be another Gogo, and nobody's ever gonna be another Jenna. But 250% is 100%. The way I learned this one is your hourly rate. In order to make more money, you have to know what you make in this hour. So in this, right now, my hourly rate is so crazy high. I just did it last month and I was like, there's no freaking way. There's no way. Okay. But my hourly, my hourly rate came back at $17,000 an hour. I'm like, that is insane. So now I work Monday to Wednesday, 11 to 4. 4 o'clock is my last appointment. So sometimes 5 o'clock is the end of the day. So I end up working 5 to 6 hours, 3 times a week, 15-hour weeks. I run all my companies in the 15-hour weeks, right? But when I was in production, I used to work like 90-hour weeks, and I literally made the most I've ever made with one assistant with Christy was $420,000 in a year while I was in production, but my head was spinning, right? So with that being said, as soon as you know your hourly rate, Jenna, you will never do anything ever again that doesn't pay you that money in the hour. And I guarantee you, working with your buyers is the first thing you need to drop because you spend way too much time with buyers versus sellers. So that was the first thing I got off my plate. So I would get rid of all of your buyers and you will never work with another buyer again. So prior to this, recently, not long ago, I should say, while I was still somewhat in production, my hourly rate was $3,200 an hour. Okay. Okay, so let's calculate your hourly rate so you know what the heck I'm talking about. So take out your phones and go to the calculator and then put in the money you made last year, the whole year, the 12 months. And the real team Atlanta, I can see you. The guy in the green shirt, you don't have your phone in your hand. Do your hourly rate. You'll be smarter when you walk out on the door. So take the money and divide it by 2080. 2080. Assuming that you worked a healthy 40 hours a week, which none of us do in real estate, but that's what we should thrive for, right? To actually have a life outside of real estate. So if you worked 40 hours a week, that's 2,080 hours a year. That number that's looking at you right now, that's how much money you make every hour when you do what you do to make money. In order to make more, you can never do any activity that doesn't make that much money in the hour. I don't check my emails. I don't check my DMs. I don't take care of my calendar. I don't do dishes. I haven't grocery shopped in 6 years. I don't do laundry. I don't walk my dog. You name it, I don't do it. If it's not making my hourly rate, I am not it. Somebody on my team, it's their job. So as soon as you do that, Jenna, your ego, you can check it right at the door because you're going to be like, I don't care. Even if they're going to do a half-ass job, I'm still not doing it because it's not going to make me the money. So now that you know your hourly rate, take everything off of your plate that is not worth your time. Because that of like, I have a hard time, that's because of your ego. That's your ego answering the question. And that's not, okay, let me ask you this way. Do you have children?
3.
Okay. If you had to choose between your child's soccer game or whatever one of your children do and go show the house, would you go show the house?
Nope.
Right? And the more clients you have and the more money you make, one day you're going to have to make that decision. Because
Well,
you're going
and I have had to make that decision already. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're going to hit that ceiling. So when you made that decision, right, you were like, well, my kid is more important. So the same thing. Well, my hourly rate is more important than having that buyer on my own. So when somebody reached out to me and was like, well, but we want you, Gogo. And I said, okay, my hourly rate is $3,200 at the time, right? And for me to work with you on the buy side, it's going to take at least 20 hours with driving around, showing you houses, making offers, negotiating, sitting the home inspection, all of that. So it's going to cost you at least $64,000. Are you in? Because that's what I cost on the buy side. So now look at everything that you do and look at the hourly rate how many hours it would take you to do that, and don't ever do that again. And then that's going to be an easy check. Like your ego is going to be like, oh yeah, I like this. You're making more money. I'm working less. Right? That's all you need to do. So now take that number, stick it to your computer everywhere you see it, and start looking at every test that you take. Is it your job or not your job? And start delegating. It's going to give you freedom. It's going to remove that feeling of like, oh, but I really like this person. I really like them. They just can't afford me anymore. I'm still going to jump on a quick little Zoom call with them or explain how we work on my team, right? And there's no way that I've never had anyone's like, well, then I'm not going to work with you. Never. They still work with me. They still work with my team. The year before I shut my team down, I still made 500,000 GCI. I wasn't even in the state. I made more money than I ever made being an individual agent. With 2 agents, and I wasn't even in the state. So you can do it. Your clients won't give up on you. As long as you can teach your agents to have the same high standard and the same work ethic and the same way that you would do it, and you hold them to it. And that's the most important part. You have to hold them to it, because your agents don't know who you are. They don't know your work ethic. They don't know what's important to you. So we had a lot of meetings. Like every Monday we had a check-in. We went through all the leads from the weekend. How many open houses did you hold? Blah, blah, blah. Every Friday had a reporting with my manager. So she checked on them, make sure that whatever I told them on Monday that they had to do, they actually got it done by Friday. So just sit down with yourself and have a good old conversation. Then what is important to you in those relationships? And then you teach it, right? For me, it was important to go to every closing, to go to every home inspection, at closing, to take pictures, to make sure we get the 5-star reviews, right? To give them a closing gift, to have our mugs and our cutting boards that said Gogo's Real Estate on it, right? So whatever that's important to you, you just have to duplicate those steps, and you have to teach those agents to do that. And then maybe quarterly, if you really want to have the relationship, then quarterly have a client appreciation so they can actually see you.
Yeah. And I already do that.
Done. You just
Yeah,
have
no,
to.
you and I'll connect, because you and I are in the similar boats, and I'll share later on what I'm doing, and I think we can make some changes there. So,
Yeah.
Gogo, we are on the top of the hour. You are
Oh my
amazing.
gosh.
Oh, I know time flies when you're having fun, right? Do y'all see why I kept saying show up, plug in, and be here Friday morning? Because Gogo's amazing, right?
Thank you.
You don't have to take my word for it anymore. So, Gogo, your assistant was putting links in. So y'all in the actual workplace group, I was putting those links in there too. Gogo, if you'll have her send everything to me, what I'll do is I'll put it in there additional, just so that people have access to your coaching and all the things that you're doing past this Zoom. Because we have a lot of eyeballs that watch this later on too. So, any last words?
I just kind of want to tell you, just go for your motto. The quote that changed my life is, if you don't build your dreams, someone is going to hire you to build theirs. Everybody that's currently holding a job, working for somebody else, they're building their dreams. You were not created to have a mediocre life. God gave you an amazing life, but he also gives you a choice. Are you going to do something with it? So if you're asking me, balls to the walls, make him proud. You can do anything. Anything that you want to do. If you would like to be a part of the Go Get 'em community, which is real estate, but most entrepreneurial, because what I learned in the last 5 years of my career, that nobody teaches us what to do with money. Nobody teaches us about taxes. Nobody teaches us about investing. Nobody teaches us about marketing and the AIs and all of that, and how to actually have a life outside of this. So if you consider yourself entrepreneurial, I would like to see you inside of the Go Get 'em community. We do a lot of lives. We release a class every single week. And then I do one big monthly live. And if you're interested, just go to gogetemcommunity.com. We would love to have you. I teach everything that I know way more in detail because I love to teach it. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Thank you, darling. Gogo, I appreciate you. All of
Thank
you have an
you.
amazing weekend, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you. Go get them.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.